There were 6 wide receivers taken in the first round of the 2020 NFL draft, but how many are going to be taken in the first round of 2021? Let's break it down with SI fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano. And Fabs, we saw guys like Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, CeeDee Lamb. They really helped a lot of fantasy football players win their fantasy leagues with excellent rookie seasons. Let's get to know the 2021 rookie class of receivers. Who do you have up top?
And it's a very deep class as well. And it starts off with Jamar Chase, who didn't play this past season. He opted out due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But let's look back at 2019, 84 catches, almost 1,800 yards, 20 touchdowns. He ranked 7th among wide receivers in yards after the catch. He broke more tackles than any wide receiver in the entire nation. He was so good in 2019, Bill, that he still actually led the nation's wide receivers in terms of the most 20-plus yard touchdown catches over the last 2 years. And again, he didn't play a snap in 2020. I would expect him to be a top 5 pick, at worst a top 10 pick. A team like the Dolphins or the Eagles could certainly have some interest in Jamar Chase.
And then going through your ranking, going through your list here, we know Heisman Trophy winner Devonta Smith, and then his teammate Jalen Waddle, both of them from Alabama, excellent seasons as well, or excellent careers as well.
Boy, Alabama, I mean, they produce great running backs and wide receivers, right? I mean, just look at the numbers over the last decade or so. So Smith was fantastic. He was the best wide receiver in the nation, led all wideouts with 117 catches. He had over 1,800 yards. His 1,856 yards were actually 663 more than the second best wide receiver. That's bananas. He had 23 touchdowns. He was also number 1 in terms of yards after the catch. He's a really fluid route runner. He's got great hands. He's got great body control. He's got great quickness. I mean, this guy has everything you want in a potential NFL superstar. I think he's going to be a top 10 or 15 pick. And the team that doesn't get Jamar Chase is going to be very happy to have Devonta Smith on their roster. This is a guy who could potentially make an impact as a rookie, much like Chase.
And then who else do you have on your list that fantasy managers should be paying attention to?
Well, we mentioned Jalen Waddle, and Waddle only played 4 games this past season because he suffered an ankle break. He did come back and play in the national championship game. Didn't really do much, but at least it proved that he was on the right track in terms of coming back, right? So he'll be good to go for the 2021 NFL season. And like his career totals weren't like huge because he had to play with Devonta Smith and Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs III. So he didn't have huge numbers, but he's still proven to be an electric playmaker. His former teammate, Trevon Diggs, who currently plays for my beloved Dallas Cowboys, compared Waddle to Tavon Austin. And if you remember back when Tavon Austin came out of West Virginia, he was considered one of the elite wide receivers in that class. So forget about what he didn't do as a pro. Talk about the skill set. And Waddle has got a very versatile skill set, likely to be a top 15 pick. And then we can finish with Rashad Bateman there out of Minnesota. Now, he opted out of the 2020 season due to COVID-19, but when the Big Ten came back, he decided to play, and he played in 5 games. He had 472 yards, 2 touchdowns, but his 2019 season was much more impressive, 60 catches, over 1,200 yards, and 11 touchdowns. He also led the nation in yards per route run. He was 13th in yards after first contact. He can play on the outside or the inside, and at 6'2", he's one of the bigger wide receivers in this class because if you look at the wide receiver group as a whole, they're all like really small guys. They're 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" guys. Well, Bateman's a bit bigger at 6'2", and I could see him sneaking into the end of the first round.
If you're a fantasy football player, whether it's redraft or dynasty, you'll want to check out all of Michael Fabiano's rookie previews. We got them for quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. It's all at sportsillustrated.si.com/fantasy.